So this video might be a little bit controversial, but I want to give you this perspective because I don't think it's being spoken about that much. So the current situation, obviously there's a conflict going on, and it can bring you down, right? It's very upsetting to think about this. The idea of people's lives being uprooted like that is very bad, obviously, right? But there's a lot of negativity and, in my opinion, there's a lot of exaggeration and fear-mongering going on, which is confirmed by both sides. And I think it's always and still important to stay positive about the world, life, and really everything. And I'm going to break it down very simply and logically for you. Now, before I start, of course, it's bad and upsetting when things happen like this, when people's lives are ruined or when people are harmed. That's never good. I'm not saying that's good. Of course, that's never good. What I am saying is that by being angry and upset about something, you actually don't change the situation. You don't help yourself, and you definitely don't help the people that are in the situation or in the trouble. There's actually no purpose to becoming angry about it, because not only do you not help the situation, but you actually make things worse. You feel worse, the people around you then feel worse as a result, and nothing really changes anyway. Now, the causes of conflicts usually is bankers. And this is not something that's obvious when you look at it on the surface level, but all wars are bankers' wars. Bankers historically have funded and supported both sides of most wars throughout history. And this one is no different. The international banking organizations are funding both sides and are very invested and interested in this conflict happening because they make twice as much profits. That won't be spoken about on the mainstream news because the mainstream news, and again, you probably already knew that. If you're watching this channel, you definitely knew this, but the mainstream news are owned and funded by the same international banking organizations. So they would never report on this because they are the ones that stand to gain from it. So they would constantly have you looking in the other direction, blaming a person or an ideal or something else outside of the system, when the reality is it's actually the bankers funding this. So that's the first thing I want to bring to your attention. The second thing is that we're all immortal beings having a very temporary human experience. So death is a part of this death and life cycle. It happens to everybody. It can't be avoided. Being upset about it, of course, if it's someone you know, that's understandable. But death has always happened. For example, almost 1 million people a year are killed by mosquitoes. Mosquitoes, right? And yet this is never on the news. You're never scared of mosquitoes. You never, spend your time getting angry about how many mosquitoes are flying around or, wanting to cull the mosquito population. Because it's just part of life. It's just part of these cycles that happen. And ultimately, nobody can make you feel bad. It's a choice that you are making. So try and stay positive, because that is the only thing that will actually help and improve situations. Being negative, angry, and hateful never makes things better.